This is Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. For 53 seasons, it was the home of the Buffalo Bills and the place where 4 straight Super Bowl teams were built. Right now, excavators are tearing it apart, section by section. When they finish, the ground it stood on will be a parking lot. And the reason it came down is not the reason most people assume. In March 2026, crews began stripping the interior of the stadium in Orchard Park, salvaging seats, signs, and turf before the heavy machinery arrived. By early May, the power was cut and the structural demolition began. There was no dramatic, single-second implosion here. Instead, contractors opted for a phased mechanical teardown, using heavy-duty excavators equipped with hydraulic shears and concrete pulverizers to chew through the upper deck suites. The county has scheduled the entire site to be cleared to bare earth by March 2027, leaving nothing but flat ground, where decades of football history once stood. But clearing this massive concrete footprint is more than a simple land-clearing job. It raises a question that local taxpayers are already asking. Why would anyone spend millions of dollars to tear down a 53-season NFL landmark just to build a flat asphalt parking lot? The short answer is as dry as a gravel pit, because the new $2.1 billion stadium across Abbott Road needs parking. Erie County, which owns the land, made it clear they would not spend another dime to maintain the old structure once the team moved. So, the old footprint will be paved over to hold tailgaters and family sedans. But before the diesel excavators even fired up, the county stripped the stadium bare. They partnered with collectibles dealer Brandon Steiner to sell off the physical remains to the fans. Blue and red plastic seats went for $550 a pop, turf sections were sliced up, and even the restroom signs were auctioned off. By the time the high reach shears bite into the final concrete columns, before the March 2027 deadline, there will be nothing left but flat earth. Which raises a far tougher question. How did a massive structural asset degrade so quickly that rebuilding it was completely off the table? In 1973, Erie County built a home for the Bills for just $22 million. Opened as Rich Stadium, before cycling through names like Ralph Wilson, New Era Field, and finally Highmark, the venue was a masterpiece of budget engineering. To keep construction costs and steel requirements low, designers dug a massive hole in the Orchard Park clay, dropping the field well below grade. They used the excavated earth to build a surrounding berm, pouring the concrete for the lower seating bowl directly onto the sloped dirt. It is the same basic shortcut a contractor uses to pour a basement floor or a graded backyard patio. This layout saved millions up front and originally held over 80,000 fans, later refined to roughly 71,600. But this sunken bowl design came with a permanent compromise. Because the field sat in a man-made crater, building a roof was out of the question without a complete structural overhaul. Instead, the open bowl acted like a giant funnel, trapping Lake Erie's brutal winds and burying the concrete under feet of heavy, wet snow. What seemed like a smart, efficient excavation in 1973 locked the stadium into decades of severe weather exposure, starting a physical countdown the concrete could never survive. For 53 seasons, that freezing concrete bowl held the soul of Western New York. This was where the Bills of the early 90s ran off 4 straight Super Bowl appearances, and where 75,000 fans braved a 34-degree chill on January 3, 1993, to witness a 32-point playoff comeback against Houston, still the largest in NFL history. When lake-effect blizzards buried Orchard Park, local volunteers showed up at dawn with plastic snow shovels, earning $10 an hour in the freezing wind just to clear the grandstands before kickoff. It was a blue-collar ritual, a physical pact between a hard-nosed fan base and a team that played on real grass and cold dirt. But while memories can be preserved, 50-year-old concrete poured directly over damp clay cannot survive forever. How much damage had decades of ice actually done to the stadium's foundation? Decades of lake-effect blizzards and constant freeze-thaw cycles had turned the concrete bowl into a crumbling sponge. Water soaked into the grandstands, rusted the internal rebar, and blew the concrete face right off the steel. It is a process engineers call spalling, and the root cause lay buried in the original 1973 blueprints. The builders had used only a 1-inch concrete cover over the reinforcing steel, half of the 2-inch barrier required by modern building codes today. Fixing this structural rot was not as simple as patching a cracked backyard patio. A full-depth structural repair to just a single grandstand deck carried a $150 million price tag. To overhaul the entire bowl, rebuild the support columns, and bring the structure up to code, the estimate approached $800 million. But the real deal breaker was the math on the back of the napkin. Even if taxpayers spent that $800 million, they would still be left with an obsolete, drafty stadium. The Sunken bowl design made it physically impossible to add a roof, expand the narrow concourses, or build the high-revenue premium suites that modern NFL economics demand. The numbers forced a hard choice: keep pouring money into a damp hole in the ground, or build something new across the road. The answer rose directly across Abbott Road, a brand new $2.1 billion stadium timed to open for the 2026 season. This was a smaller barn. The new layout caps capacity at 60,108 seats, cutting nearly 12,000 from the old gate. Instead of raw volume, this blueprint trades cheap aluminum benches for high-dollar club levels and a massive wind-shielding canopy. It is a smaller, high-yield engine built on entirely different math. With the first public event set for August 2026, the structure was ready. But who actually signed the check for this $2 billion project? The answer came down to a record-setting taxpayer bill. Out of the original construction budget, public funding covered $850 million. At the time of its approval in 2022, it was the largest public contribution ever authorized for an NFL venue. The funding was divided into two specific taxpayer streams. New York State covered the lion's share, committing $600 million directly from state funds. Erie County taxpayers took on the remaining $250 million, backed by county debt. Politicians defended the heavy public cost as the non-negotiable price of keeping the franchise anchored in western New York. But as construction actually got underway across Abbott Road, that baseline budget began to slide. The original estimate of $1.4 billion quickly fell apart as inflation and design upgrades pushed the final price tag north of $2.1 billion. Under the construction agreement, the public contribution was strictly capped, meaning team owners Terry and Kim Pegula had to absorb roughly $700 million in cost overruns themselves. But the Pegulas did not shoulder this bill alone. They transferred a significant portion of the burden directly to the fans through a personal seat license program. Before a single game was played, the team collected more than $263 million from loyal supporters just for the right to buy their season tickets, which left taxpayers with one final expensive question. What do you do with a concrete giant that no one wants anymore? We treat modern sports venues like disposable appliances, swapping them out every 30 to 40 years instead of maintaining them like the civic landmarks of the past. Once a structure's physical shell can no longer support the weight of modern luxury suites and high-margin club seats, the financial math shifts. You cannot easily graft premium revenue onto a rigid, mid-century concrete bowl. When a stadium outlives its business model, it stops being a monument of local history and becomes an expensive liability. The old stadium in Orchard Park is not an isolated failure. It is simply the latest turn in a national cycle of building, neglecting, and bulldozing. As the dust settles in Orchard Park, taxpayers are left holding the bill for a shiny new playground. The old concrete eventually cracked, but this endless cycle of rebuilding is just getting started. If you appreciate straight answers about what we build, please subscribe.